Community in Isolation by Dani Heacox. As I look at my calendar today, it has been almost 3 months to date since I've been in isolation at home. March 17th was the last day I was in the office surrounded by my peers and coworkers that I'm still getting to know. At that time, I remember being absorbed in the day-to-day motions of wake up, go to work, go home, sleep, and repeat. My main focus then was learning the ropes at work and establishing myself and developing working relationships while also trying to maintain my personal relationships. The social calendar was packed, and I rarely found myself at home since I was so busy running around. I knew that coronavirus was a threat and that it was moving our way fast, but in the back of my head, I held on to hope that it wouldn't completely change our way of life. Then the announcements came in. First case discovered in Ohio. Stay 6 feet apart. All gatherings over 10 people prohibited. Stay at home. All non-essential businesses, stores, and restaurants closed until further notice. All those events on my social calendar postponed or canceled. Don't make plans since we have no clue what the future will look like. That afternoon, when I brought all my work equipment home to start working remotely, is when the situation really hit home and gave me pause. How would I continue a budding relationship with my new coworkers? How would I continue to socialize and keep in touch with my family and friends? How would this change my relationship with my husband? How do I keep myself and others safe? How can you know that you're not spreading it? Fear of the unknown has always been a lingering issue with me, and having an invisible but persistent threat with little knowledge on how to counteract it brought all of those fears to a head. As we've heard many times in the news, keeping your distance and quarantining yourself as needed is the best way to ensure you're not a vector. However, even as I kept my distance from others physically, I knew that I wanted and frankly needed to keep in contact with my friends and family. In order to do that, I knew I'd need to get creative. It started with conversations with my family, not just over the phone, but with video. We always used to text and send silly gifts to each other, but since we couldn't see each other in the flesh, video was the next best thing to still see each other. And if you thought seeing silly gifts from your family was entertaining, there's a whole new level once your parents discover filters mid-conversation and you see your sister's reaction in real time. Then friends started getting inventive and hanging out. I'm at that age where many of my friends are at various stages of life, some dating, some freshly married, and others with children. As you can imagine, it's like trying to align the planets to get us all together, especially with some living in other states or even countries. With the advent of Netflix Party, Zoom, and online versions of physical games coming into popularity and being readily available, we jumped at the chance to use these to keep in touch. Now we have a Zoom gaming night once a month with my friends in Ohio, New York, and the Bahamas all at the same time. And when we aren't playing games in real time, we've established a group chat where we share old childhood photos and reminisce on silly memories of our shared past. Another friend and I used to go out regularly and watch ridiculous movies and anime together. Think something a la Mystery Science Theater 3000 where we'd razz the show while we watch. Even though we can't physically hang out right now, between Netflix Party on the computer and a conference video call on my phone sitting on a tripod so we can see each other face to face, it's the next best thing. As it became apparent that this would be more than a couple of weeks at home, my workplace also began to come up with ways for us to keep in touch and still socialize outside of just business and work. We increased our remote-ready capabilities so we can see each other and stay highly collaborative in shared spaces, but we also opened the door to let our personalities show in a virtual space. IT shared how to add custom backgrounds in Microsoft Teams so we could add personality to our calls, meaning creatively Photoshop backgrounds and inside jokes started cropping up. We created a room in JQBX where we could share music together, akin to take turns DJ battle, and developed a weekly schedule where we would have themed days to cued music to listen to while we work. I've learned quite a bit about my coworkers through their music choices. And then there's changes at home. My husband and I are extremely lucky to both have full-time jobs right now, but when we're not working, the change of the world outside is hard to ignore. He's the only person I can regularly be close to. We started our relationship 18 years ago as friends, long before we dated and got married. And this extra time together has gifted us with rediscovering things we both enjoy and share interest in. We both enjoy cooking and finding creative ways to use pantry ingredients. Since it's safe to enjoy the outdoors, we've started hiking more. And our shared love of science fiction and gaming means there's plenty of entertainment to share. What began as fear and uncertainty has turned into a unique opportunity to reinvigorate ties with old friends and family and discover more about myself and my community, a silver lining in the clouds. After graduating from Hiram College, Dani pursued a career in communications and advertising and currently works as a project manager at an ad agency. She lives in Northeast Ohio with her husband Paul and Nin, their mischievous cat. Myself and Dani attended Hiram College and shared many communications classes together, as well as working on Hiram's newspaper, The Advance. And if you like that inspirational story and when you would like to take some more in, I recommend that you check out Beacons in the Darkness, inspirational stories from people I know, available wherever books are sold. Thank you.